There we go. We can stop calling each other cunts now and act professionally.
Today is the 11th of August of 2022 of the year of our Lord.
People present are us two and that one. Steph. See, assault caught on camera. Right. Weekly update. Carly sent her apologies. She's not a people person. She hates meetings. Something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
And we'll all just end up falling out with her if she comes along to these things. I tried to persuade, then I tried to strong arm, then I tried to bribe, then she threatened me. So I did try to get her along. Adam's still in the process of moving house. He was greeting today about $8,000 in tax that he had to just pay simply to have a transaction with another voluntary individual, you know. There's a cat escaped. Just jumped out the window, head first. What else?
That's because you brought up tax.
Don't tax cats. Right. Well, last week I connected the domain name and I set up an email address, but for whatever reason, I cannot get the damn email address to work. I don't know if I've just got the wrong setting or anything. It's receiving incoming emails, but it's not sending outgoing emails.
Is that maybe because the emails that you're trying to send out is to email addresses out with the domain?
Possibly, but it's receiving the emails.
So I know sometimes there's locks that are put in place by the likes of Outlook and Gmail, etc. Whenever you're trying to use it, if you're emailing email addresses out with the organization.
Oh, kind of defeats the purpose of
an email. I know. I know. I think it's just a safety measure put in place just in case you email like a scamming email or a phishing email, etc.
Maybe get a 24-hour, 48-hour block or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trying to remember what the
Bah.
wrong password. I'll figure it out. Wait, and I'll just try and log into it from here.
Who is the email address with? Outlook, I assume, or
Right. For some reason, it has locked me out the email now as well, so I'll need to.
You're telling me you've just been locked out of the your own email which you've just created?
I know. For some reason, it's just. I'll go into the email settings through the Wix. That's what it was done through. Manage business email.
So who's it with? Is it Gmail?
The email is operated through Gmail,
Gmail.
but it's paid for through Wix.
Through what?
Wix, W-I-X.
Never heard of them.
No.
Why is it locked you out? Is it just too many attempts to sign in, or?
No, it's just no idea. Got to forgot my password. Add a C name to your DNS record to verify it's you.
What? Add a what?
C name, CNAME, to your domain's DNS records.
The fuck is that?
Fuck knows.
I know what a DNS record is. I just don't know what's a C name.
Open another browser tab and sign into your domain host site. Okay, go to your domain DNS records.
Canonical name or C name record is a type of DNS record that maps an alias name to a true or canon. My God, I can't fucking say that word. Domain name. C name records are typically used to map a subdomain such as a www or a mail to the domain hosting that subdomain's content. So it's a canonical, I can't fucking say that name. A common example is when you have both example.com and www.example.com pointing to the same application and hosted by the same server. So that's an example of a C name or a canonical name.
Right, I'm just gonna.
Canonical. Canonical, that's it. Fucking smashed it. Canonical name. A canonical name. There we go.
Right, I've added it. Wait 30 seconds. Save your changes, wait for at least 30 seconds, come back here and select the next button. So just make sure.
That's the first kind of energy I've had since like last year. I want to get hooked.
I know they're terribles.
I know. However, it is the person's choice to drink the energy can, so we should not tax it with regards to the sugar tax.
I actually find it quite baffling when libertarians are debating about. No, it's not. Oh, Leighton's done it. Right, okay. Right, here we go. Next.
Oh, wait a minute, you find it baffling what?
We need some time to review your request.
Oh, I'll probably lock you out for 24 to 48 hours so that they can review it and then get back to you. Gmail.
Verification code. You'll get an email when the check is complete, usually within 72 hours. Check your spam folder in case the email is there. Right, so, right. Our email address is delayed another week, which is a pain in the backside because we need the email address to then.
That's no one's fault, to be fair. That's just Gmail being Gmail.
I know. But you need the email address so that you can set up everything else. You know,
Yeah.
that way. Because the last thing you want is 20 years down the line, discovering that somebody's personal email address that they no longer have was used to set something up, and now you need.
Yeah, that's.
And it just breaks the whole system. But in saying that, it's a good idea every 5-10 years to have a complete revamp of the entire website system because everything changes so often.
How about the constitutional? Constitution, sorry, not constitutional. Why did I say that?
The Constitution.
Yeah.
There's no major updates to it. Just this week and this coming week, snowed under with stuff at the house, so
It's fine.
I can't promise I'll get to it. I've got stuff in my mind that I need to transfer to paper and actually get the time to, so there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to type out and then get it proofread and everything else and then voted on.
Can we do that tonight or?
It would take too long.
Too long.
Aye. It's just it's not like just copying and pasting. You're actually physically typing it out because it's just. Carly has agreed to be nominating officer.
Okay.
Or
That's good.
Officer. So that gives us. Excuse me. That gives us 2 out of the 3 people we need for the registration as well. We still need a UK leader, which isn't an appointed position, it's an elected, so we'll have to get the remainder together and knock heads. And so I think Gordon and Steph, it wasn't Gordon, who? It was Adam. Adam was on last week. He joined the committee temporarily with Steph to vote me in. Simply because there's no members to vote committee members in. And I think it's the same deal. We just need to knock heads I don't know if Adam will resign. I think Adam was talking about resigning the committee anyway to go in for a leadership. So either him or Gordon, but Gordon always just seems so distracted. He's never available to show up, and then he's always, I don't know. I don't like to speak ill of people who are not here to defend themselves. So I just like to see him show up more often, and actually take part. But I think that kind of limits us just to Adam. So maybe have to just speak to Adam about being his local leader, regional leader, and national leader, and UK leader, just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to make a sacrifice just to get the ball rolling and then get it started once we have actually the correct infrastructure in place. But in regards to availability, I understand there's other commitments on at the same time, that way. So yeah,
I don't know if I know Gordon's here in spirit, but his mind's somewhere else. I think he's wanting, a Kilmarnock party or an East Ayrshire party at best, or he'll sometimes throw in the word Scottish if we really need to have a national party. And it's like, no, try to organise a UK party, and then from that we can then have our little Kilmarnock party.
Yeah, he's wanting to start down the way, whereas we're wanting to start up the way, and then work our way down.
We need to put the frame of the umbrella in.
Yeah.
So that then we can put in our own little fold locally. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's me up to date at the moment with what I've done. I need to speak to yourself. Whoever's left on the committee. It's how to set up the limited company. It could be just the sole director initially, or it might be that yourself and Carly come on as directors as well.
Just fine.
Just as
I've already got experience with a limited company anyways. So I know the processes in regards to Companies House, in regards to statements, confirmation statements, etc. It's all that shite. I know how to do all that, so yeah, it's fine.
Keeping it updated from there. Okay, well, we can maybe sit down next week. By that point, we'll have the email set up.
Yeah.
We can get together through Messenger and.
Yeah, I think also we need to get membership up and running. The ball needs to be rolling in regards to that as well.
It's a chicken and egg scenario. I think it's like,
yeah.
To get the company up and running, we need to have a registered address.
Yeah.
To get the registered address, we need to have the email.
To get a bank account, you need an email as well.
Aye. So it's a multitude of things, and it's like we can get because the kind of process I was thinking was that in theory that because the limited company is a private entity in its own right, just owned by the party, its fees to the party should just be the membership. So the idea I had was that when someone signs up as a member, their membership fee goes to the limited company, and effectively the limited company it counts as a donation to the party for legal reasons, but the limited company charges the party the equal amount. The other thing is try to decide how much the fees would be for membership.
I was thinking around about £25 minimum
Right, per month or
per month. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if I need to just go quite that high, but I certainly don't want it to be cheap either.
No.
I'd like to think that we're taking on members who are serious enough about it, who know what it entails. But I think also if we're going to charge something that high, that the members have to get something in return. And I'm not just talking about a wee membership pack or something like that. But what I was thinking, you know, have you heard of, what's his name? Christopher Wilkinson.
Heard the name.
He owns Blacklist Press. He's the editor of Free Speech.
Okay. Yeah.
I was chatting to him a few weeks ago about expanding into a regular monthly magazine or something like that. It could well be that we facilitate that sort of monthly magazine, get him his free speech placement in it, but also recruit other regular writers to it, and some sort of commission basis, you know. So the members will be paying us through the membership fee, and as part of that, they'll get a monthly magazine. Nothing as drastic or excessive as what do you call it? You know, these kind of monthly magazines that are really thick and high quality, glossy pages, but something just to get the ball rolling, something no bigger than what the SLP manifesto was last year. If you remember seeing.
Yeah.
You know, 8 A3 sheets. No, it was 4 A3 sheets that give 16 pages. Something as simple as that. We get regular contributors, but what we ask for, it doesn't have to be specifically political. You know, so for example, I was thinking maybe asking Dan Liddickett, for example, he could give 12 articles, one for each month, on his page, regarding home-based, self-sufficient growing and what to do at each month of the year. You know, to plan your homestead out or something like that. You know, your garden. Someone else maybe have knowledge in legal firearms in the UK and could do little, you know, reviews on items and bits and pieces. All these sort of, you know, somebody could do, you know, a political bit as well. There could be updates about events and stuff like that, to do with the party and to do with libertarianism as a whole. Stuff like that, you know. So just fill it out, make sure we've got at least a year's worth of stuff. Susie can put it together, make sure we've got a nice standardized format and color scheme, and then we just put it together and we print off our own copies.
Sounds good.
And just have on the front cover, just keep a database of who the current membership is, and have a little bit on the front cover of the magazine, a white space. This sort of minimises workload. So when Minuteman Press does it works out about £1 a copy, you know, so we're not talking a lot of money. And they've got a machine actually in the office. It literally just prints your 4 pages out on top of each other, staples it, folds it, and puts it out ready to be picked up. And it can be done in such a way that every member's name and address is printed one at a time on each copy. So literally just you pick it up, find it in an envelope, put it through a Franken machine, drop it off at the post office. You know, complete minimum workload. Miniman Press might even, you know, if we're going to be doing enough of them every month, they maybe even just supply the envelopes and the postage and send us a bill. Or even just, you know, peace of mind, you know, zero debt policy, you know, just make sure they've got money in advance so that, you know, we never fall behind by anything.
It's probably the best approach to take with everything is just pay in advance and ensure it's paid in advance.
Well, there's, you know, 100 copies going out this week. Here's the 200.
200. Here's the value of 200, so that the next is covered as well, and just do it that way. Even
or even just, we know on the day it goes to print, because if you're talking that number of quantity, they could probably run that off in a single day, you know, the first 100 or 200.
Yeah.
We'll have stuff in advance anyway, so even if they're talking about a week's worth of printing through the machine, you know, if we're talking about, you know, 1,000 or 2,000, by that point they're maybe talking about just going to an industrial printer. But I think if we've got like 1,000 members all chipping in this monthly fee, we're going to be offering a much better magazine at the same time. So
exactly,
it's all relative. Bigger audience attracts better writers and so on and so forth, and even advertisers.
And plus, we'll have Dan Lidicott on board anyways, promoting the party, I assume. So
yeah, I mean, I haven't asked him yet. Same with,
I think it's a shoe on. I think it is a shoe on that he will probably do that. He's a good lad.
Do stuff like that, so he'll probably do it. Same with Christopher Wilkinson. Just give him the middle 4 pages for his free speech edition once a month.
Yeah.
So your Choice magazine comes with, you know, a pull-out version of the free speech or something. You know, so these sort of things can all.
For all you sad fuckers in the party.
Yeah, I know. But it can be bright, it can be colourful, it can be positive.
Definitely.
Oh, and it's something that members can take home and share. You know, it could even be that, you know, we could print off a run more than just, you know, if it's picking up and we're into a kind of rhythm of it, and nothing's ever late, it's all going out on time, basically, so that the first working day of the month it's landing on someone's doorstep through the mail. You know, so we're working the last week of the month to print and post it. We could run a batch, so we could run the list. You know, say for example, there's 50 people on the list. We could run another 50 or something. Blank, and what we do with the white space is we use that as an advert to subscribe to the magazine or get it free with membership, you know, but subscribe to the magazine. And then the party itself could advertise somewhere in the magazine to get members and do it, sale or return around some newsagents round about, see what happens. You know, try our luck. Or just hand them out to newsagents. It's that, look, sell it, you know, sell it for $2.50, keep the money. Somebody's getting it, you know.
Yeah.
We don't want the pound back, just that. Here's a copy, see if you can sell it. If you sell it, send me a message, I'll get you another one next month or another 2, you know. And if, you know, if they're getting a couple, you know, sale or return, and see what happens with there. And those folk who pick up the magazine might even just join up as members. So there's, what's that saying? More than one way to string a cat. Or is it fold an envelope? I don't know. Whatever the saying is, I prefer the string a cat one. You know, it's more violent and.
Don't think you've ever been good with pussies, mate.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time I've had a complaint.
No, that sounds really good though. It does sound really good. It sounds promising, and it's good because it's attractive to businesses, because if it is selling and we're giving it to businesses for free to sell on for a profit for them, then of course they're not going to say no to that, are they?
No,
But
no.
in the long run, it's attractive for us, because the more our party gets out there, the more members we're getting in.
Mhm.
So in the long run, we're making up for it anyways in membership fees.
Aye. And if it gets to the stage, you know, if we're putting out, say for example, we end up with, you know, 500 or 1,000 members, you know, we're printing that amount off. By that point, we're putting in a nice glossy magazine and having some serious contributors.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's then a case of going to Menzies or John Smith's or both and just saying, or W. Smith or whatever, just saying to them, right, okay, we've got a magazine, we're wanting to do sale or return to the businesses. You know, can we get a deal to print them off? They'll probably do a print offer, or they might just turn around and say, right, okay, we'll do a 3-month or a 6-month trial, print them off, drop them off, and they'll be delivered to news agents on a sale or return basis with the barcode and everything on the back.
Mm.
You know, which is something else we need to organise for that as well, a barcode. Because you know how news agents love to be up to date with the scanners.
Oh, I know.
Just imagine the party name as a magazine title in the local Tesco. But you never know. I mean, the way Menzies operate, it's fairly simple. Everything's on a sale or return basis. So the printing cost is with the sell, you know, the producer. Menzies just literally distribute. So they, you know, the likes of the Sun newspaper, they'll print directly in a Menzies centre, and it'll be brought through on, you know, bundled and brought through pallets at a time. You know, I think, is it 50 in a strapped up? I think, is it 50 at a time or something? The Sun newspapers, and then just a label's printed off and stuck inside, and right, that's for that news agent, that's for that news agent, and so on. And they'll split one up if, you know, if one news agent is to get 53, they'll split 3 up and put it in with a mixed pile of newspapers.
Mm.
It's then labelled and sent to that news agent every morning. So it's the same thing. It'll be, our stuff will just be fired on a pallet, you know, it'll be printed off, fired on a pallet, dropped off to them, you know, at least a day or two in advance, and then the morning of or overnight of the distribution, it'll be put in with. And what will happen is all the main places will get one. All the kind of bigger selling, busier news agents will get at least one, maybe 2. And they use the return figures to decide who gets how many the next time, and so on and so forth. And that's fed back to us. That's how you get readership numbers. So it's it gives us an idea of who's buying and where they're buying.
Yeah.
And the news agents that sell out, they'll get an extra one the next time, until until they're pretty much either selling out at a level, they'll maybe sell 3 consistently, but they'll get 4 every now and again to see whether they pick up an extra customer. And if not, if it's always returned 1 at 4, then they'll just drop down to 3 permanently. And you'll always have your 3 regular readers. Then occasionally the odd one will come back. But for some reason, they just can't sell that 4th one. Then, it's just, we'll end up with, quite possibly we'll end up with maybe 1 regular in each of the main busy news agents, but we won't get anyone else. But it depends how much you're selling it for. I mean, if you're just talking like $2.99 price tag or something for the little 16 pager, then it might, it might. But these things count. Every sale counts as towards some profit at the end up, and it counts then as earnings or donations to the party. So
Yeah. Aye, sounds good.
Aye. It's just, I think if we're going to charge as much, we need to offer something.
Yeah, of course, there has to be an attraction there to the person who's obviously signing up for membership. It's not the case. It's not always a case of you and I putting in the money because we believe in the ideology. Some people just won't pay that, which is fair enough. It's a person's choice. We have to make it attractive as possible. So that's fine. But yeah, no, I think it should be a bit more pricier because it does act like a filter, doesn't it, from the people who are not really interested to the people who actually want to make a difference to the party.
They might vote for us, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Or they might sign up to a free newsletter. And then there's some folk who, the £1 a month at the SLP worked simply because it was so cheap. It's only £1. Oh, this looks interesting. They sign up. It's only £1 a month. Well, that's fine. And the set, what I called was the set and forget. And there's probably dozens of people with SLP memberships who've completely forgotten that they're members.
Yeah.
And Tam's always going, where are these members? Why are they not running as candidates? It's like, because you don't reach out to them. That's it. You don't contact them.
No.
They maybe get the occasional email in their junk folder.
Yeah, and that's it. It's all about trying to keep that connect between the actual leadership of this party and our members. And I think that what you're talking about there, the
kind of newsletter.
Newsletter. Sorry,
a magazine, but
yeah, the newsletter, if you like, will keep them in the loop in regards to what's going on. We'll remind them, I remember choice. Yeah, I need to make sure I'm doing X, Y, and Z.
And it should be quite easy reading. It's not 16 pages of folk spouting the same opinion every month on some sort of political issue at the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think also what we should be doing with that newspaper is we should be allowing opposition to come on and debate.
Yeah, of course. Have the debate. Have the news, have the magazine, the newsletter that goes out to the members, but not have it deliberate, not have it overtly biased.
Yeah, don't treat it like a mouthpiece, if you like, for the ideology. A bit similar to the likes of GB News. GB News, you can tell, has a slant on right-wing news, right-wing politics, etc. However, they still have the likes of Benjamin Butterworth on.
They'll present more centrally.
Yeah,
Then you've got Talk TV, Talk Radio, who have the same sort of slant, but they are overtly about it.
yeah.
So it's just it's kind of.
It's like trying to get a balance.
But some pieces.
Fucking hell, man. Sorry, mate. It's completely off the topic. AZ Alkmaar are now 4-1 up. And we're 1-0 down coming into this game. It's not even half time.
Who are they playing?
Dundee United.
All right. Oh well.
Fucking showing Scottish football up again.
I was in Dundee the day. Oh, Felix just caught a mouse. A mouse. A seagull dropped a mouse out on the slabs, and Felix pounced and caught the mouse because the mouse was trying to run away. The seagulls dropped it. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. Seagulls dropped it. The mouse has started running. Felix was hiding under the wheelbarrow and pounced on the mouse.
No, some would say that's a sign. Some would actually say that the seagull is the SLP, the mouse is the membership, and we are the cat.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what it is between. It's that same seagull, right? And it's here every morning. In fact, here it's back again. It's just sitting just in the roof above the. It's here every morning.
Sitting on the roof, probably going, "You fucking bastard, taking my fucking dinner."
It's like him and the cat are always playing this sort of game of tig. They're there. So he's down in the slabs. Felix is under the windowsill. He comes up to the windowsill in the morning, not using his beak to knock on the glass to say, "Are we up yet?" You know, is Felix coming out to play? Felix is still with the mouse. The mouse is still alive. He's playing with it. Felix, what are you doing with the mouse? And the seagull's standing about a metre away, just watching the two of them.
Telling you, mate, that's a sign.
But the seagull strikes the mouse back. That's what it is. They're arguing over food, even though Felix has got hundreds of food in here. Bizarre to watch. Absolutely bizarre to watch. And you say that and realise we're still recording. Somebody's going to be watching this 100 years from now and going, "What were they to what to?"
Oh, they've scored again. It's 5-1. You're joking. They were 1-0 up coming into this game, Dundee United, and they have conceded 5 in the first half.
Oh,
that is insane.
Put some money on 10-0 by the end of the game.
Oh, it's going that way. It really is heading that way. That is absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous, man.
I know I'm not supposed to interfere in nature, but that mouse is still alive. Probably terrifying.
That is absolutely insane.
Who?
It's AZ Alkmaar versus Dundee United
Oh,
in the Europa League. And Dundee United had beaten them this time last week 1-0 at home, which was a fantastic result for Dundee United. They've went over to Holland, because that's where AZ Alkmaar play. They've went over there with a 1-0 lead. And in the space of 45 minutes, they've not just blown that 1-0 lead, they're now losing 5-1 on aggregate.
oh.
It's just insane. I can't believe that. I just cannot believe that.
Yeah.
Madness. Is he away out saving that mouse? Oh, that's mad. It's no longer imagery because he would never have saved the SLP. Especially against our new party.
No.
For the mouse.
Felix,
isn't he? He's, you know, the way a cat would hold one of its own little kittens, its newborn kittens, by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah.
It's down to the mouse in a way it's no hurting the mouse. And then it's sitting the mouse down. And the mouse will try and run away and he'll just catch it again and pick it back up and walk somewhere else.
Socialism, basically.
It's a bit like you know, a government collecting tax. It's like,
Yeah.
We're not finished with you yet, you know. Come back here, I want another mouthful. Just for the record, I was not beating her up. Has he still got it? No, I think it went under the fence, and then the seagull tried to catch it and missed and all. So I don't know where that. They're away down behind our neighbour's garden somewhere.
That's fucking insane. So the agenda for this time next week then, with regards to the party, is get the email sorted. Once the email's sorted, do you want me to get on with setting up the private company, or are you going to do that? What's?
Try to think the best way. I'll do it once. Because we'll need to get the registered address first, with directors' addresses, so that.
Oh fuck, aye, so we do.
Are private. And then take it from there. Setting up the bank account might be a little bit harder, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, because we'll need projections and all that for the bank in order to set it up. We would need to do that. In fact, do you know what? See, when we're doing that, I'll come up to yours and we'll do that together in person, actually. That's probably a 2 or a 3-man job.
Aye. That might be, even if you come up next week when we have the meeting.
Yeah. Well, I'm free anytime until the 30th, to be honest. So I'll come up next week and we'll look over.
Aye. No worries. Right, okay. Right. So it's just try to organize. The other thing for the registration is just try to organize a party leader.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's another big thing. Do you think it would be wise setting up a meeting, a leadership, or not a leadership, a leader meeting, if you like?
Got the mouse. He's back in the garden.
Oh, it's dead.
Is it dead?
Or is it plain dead?
Index. That's how I know. Phyllis is back here on Monday. But the seagulls flown off. I knew a crowd of seagulls are chasing the seagull. And Felix is just cowering beside the house, going, where's my friend? This seems
What I would say was,
Aye.
is it worth having a leader meeting maybe on Sunday to discuss it? Try and get as many people as possible in the meeting.
Could do, aye.
I mean, I would.
Well, considering we technically are the members
Yeah.
of the party, even though we don't have a membership yet.
Founded members, yeah.
Yeah, we grab who we can on Sunday and just say, right, okay, boys and girls, who's it going to be?
Yeah.
You,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going party leader if we haven't got anyone else, and then someone else can take over treasury. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind that. But
then
again,
who have we got for treasury? You know.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Who have we got for treasury? Unless
And it's
someone.
It's a vital position.
Yeah. What?
Leader.
Uh-huh.
I thought you wanted to be chair of the committee.
No,
Steph will put her name in the ring.
Okay.
And
I think she'd be a fantastic candidate, to be honest with you.
Oh, without
She's got experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's just typing to me. We're biased.
You.
Oh, I'm biased.
I'm
Or
not.
is it me
I'm impartial.
complimenting you?
I'm impartial. It's fair. So yeah, no, that's good. At least we've got one. And even if Steph can do it temporarily until we build as a party, you know, because I understand Steph's got her own issues with health, etc. as well. And then temporarily she can take over the reign if she's successful. And then once we have a proper infrastructure in place, then Steph can then go back to doing what she wanted to do. I think was sitting in the background of the party. Is that correct? Or yeah.
Pretty much.
So there you go.
In the committee until is elected from actual members.
Where she'll be invaluable also because having someone with that experience in the back or in the background of the party is also really, really pivotal. So either way, she's going to be a fantastic appointment.
Mm-hmm. I think what else. Oh, I was going over an election system for running elections for the internal elections. I was thinking that each year committee members can be elected by the membership in the February. What we can do is have set dates. So it might be that we have the AGM in February.
Yeah.
Double it up with the election of committee members so that the committee members all run as candidates to get, the elections run, the votes are counted, and it's announced at the AGM who the committee is going to be. But by that point, the election's been, and when you're coming up to, January is the start of a new year, people are getting a wee bit kind of into things, I want to do something and improve this world, this, that, and the next thing. So nominations can come in January. Excuse me.
That makes sense.
Run, and then we announce.
What I think we should also do, and this is just a recommendation really, is say we have the AGM on February, as what you've mentioned there, and then say, for example, the local council elections are in May,
Aye.
in that use that AGM as a projection of where we want to be as a party, and then have a meeting after the elections have been completed to assess the results and assess where we are as a party, and then see where we need to be in order to get into the next stage.
Aye, aye. But AGMs and conferences are great opportunities to recruit people. We have the AGM in the February. Usually the 3rd or 4th week in March is a deadline for candidate nominations. So we can get, for May elections. So
Yeah.
we can get lots of new people interested who are maybe just there to fill in and just say, right, okay, well, no one's, it could well be that I'm trying to think of the timeline. It's a kind of 2 weeks, so it's the last 2 weeks of March that the close of registrations or the nomination period's open. We want to have everything done before day one. So the week before that, so the 2nd week in March, would be anyone and everyone. We're just getting bums on seats. Between the 2nd week in March and the end of March. The 1st week in March is getting internal people to basically agree to be paper candidates. So that's where we'd open it up to committee members and admin staff to say, look, we still have vacant candidacy spots. Will you put yourself down, sort of thing. I'm just working the timeline in reverse. Then for the whole of February, if we have the AGM, say for example, the 1st Saturday in February, we then have until the last Saturday in February or the last day of February to run candidate elections. So we can recruit at the AGM, get all the nominations in of people who want to be candidates, get their election material out to the members or posted on the website, stuff like that, and have the vote so that the candidates are all selected by the end of February. And then we use the period in March. So the 1st week, we pick internal volunteers, staff members, committee members, etc. Say, right, okay, we've still got vacancies. Please fill in. The 2nd week, 3rd and 4th week of March is just anyone. That's where we just say, right, okay, we've got
Free for all, basically. Yeah,
right. We still get empty seats. Maybe my brother will put his name down, or is your cousin willing to do it? We just need paper candidates. They need to do nothing. They need to do nothing else. It's just a matter of we have all the paperwork ready for them to fill in, including the zero expense return. You just get them to sign everything there and then we just run it and submit all the paperwork for them.
Yeah.
So
Probably the best way to approach it.
Aye. And we don't.
But yeah, you're right in what you say. I think the AGM would be a fantastic vehicle to use to get maybe even members who are even just new, existing members who have maybe been just in the back doing nothing sort of thing, just funding the party in the background, because some people don't have the confidence at times to put themselves forward. They just need that extra little bit of confidence and that extra little push. So it would be a fantastic way to appoint people and get people in and on board at a local, at a national level to represent the party.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a really, really good way to bring aspiring people from universities and colleges into politics. People who go and study politics. I know universities and colleges are probably not the best to recruit in regards to what we're trying to do, but there may be the odd person who is disenfranchised with the status quo who may want to join us. So Have us out there, get us out there into the colleges, into the universities, and tell them, look, the best way to enter UK politics and to enter Scottish politics is for us. We'll give you the opportunity.
Yeah.
Run for us.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's one of the big things that the SLP have missed out on, because the SLP gave me, I owe an awful lot to the SLP in regards to my political career. They gave me my first gig as a a local councillor, albeit I didn't get elected. I was able to run. I was able to get my name out there. So I owe an awful lot to them. Albeit their leadership are a shambles, and the structure of the party is a shambles. They gave me my chance. I've always wanted to do politics since I was the age of 17, 18. So
I know, but having the structure there, and it's pretty much the leadership structure that's being proposed means that pretty much anyone can.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be well known or a member for long or anything like that. Someone just fresh in the door. I want to be a local leader. Right, okay, well, elections for local leaders are in
it's the way it should be, mate.
July.
It's the way it should be, right? Yeah, like it's the way it should be though. Like if someone fresh through the door, fresh faced, a bit like myself right at the moment in politics, I'm a bit fresh faced, right? And they come through the door, they've got the ideas, they've got the innovation to go in there and to make a difference as a leader, then why not? Why not appoint them? You know?
Well, with the structure that we've got, we get the AGM and committee members elected in the start of February. The end of February and March, we're pretty much recruiting candidates for any elections that year, because they're almost always held in May. You just go through, right? Okay, Steph's leaving us.
No, it's okay.
We're almost finished anyway. This was just some of those. Just a second.
That's fine.
A battle royale out there. Morning, Felix, just come in. As if he can understand English, you know. I think him and the seagull have had a falling out over that mouse. Anyway, so I split up the kind of election process out over the year. So committee members, we want them to be kind of stalwarts of the, party, or people who've been in a wee while and want something to do, or want to be more involved. Get them in, get the nominations in January, they're elected, nominations in are elected in February. We have the AGM when we're announcing the committee members. February, we're recruiting candidates. March, we're recruiting candidates, usually. April's campaigning month. So even in a non-election year, even if we just get into a habit of, right, April's for activism. Right, play on the words,
Activist April.
Yeah, activist April. We just have it every single year, whether there's an election or not, and we go out there and we go to protests or event days and stuff like that. Just get out there, go knocking on doors and chatting to people about the state. Even if it's just right, okay, there's no community council here, right? So why don't a handful of us go knocking on doors in this area and get a community council up and running? Stuff like that, right? Activist April. May's the election time. May and June, well, May tends to be a kind of cooling off period. June, we can start nominating local leaders again. So May and June, we just scramble everyone. We have that election in July. July and August, we are then recruiting or nominating regional leaders out of the freshly elected local leaders. And they can be elected in September. September, October, we're then looking to select the 4 national leaders out of all the regionals. And that election can be in November. And then, you know, the whole kind of Christmas period into January, we're then looking for the UK leader. And it's just by default, you know, you have to be in a qualifying position to be nominated. Trying to get the cat in for the night. Just trying to jump out the window there. You know, so it gives somebody that, you know, who's just maybe signed up at the AGM, come on as a paper candidate, going, oh, this is brilliant, love this, I want to do more. They can get elected as a local leader. There's no need to challenge. It's just the leader positions are up every year by default. So there's no challenge, there's no surprise, there's no unexpected this, that, the next thing. You're elected for 1 year. And you just put yourself forward again to run for the next year.
Yeah.
Straightforward. And if someone else puts themselves forward, it's just an election. If no one else has put themselves forward, then you win by default. You know, so
It's the best way.
the election happens every year. We'll send out the ballots every year by email. It'll all be done electronically, so it'll cost next to nothing. So we
You've
just-
run that. That's fraud.
So we just send out the ballots, just because it'll be good practice, even if there's only one candidate. Or, you know, I do not wish to vote. Cross this box, you know. None of the above. We should put that in, none of the above, you know, and just see who wins.
This means you can't
also-
fucking moan whenever the person appointed does well or doesn't do well.
But if we send it out, you know, if we send the nominations out to the membership every, you know, and just have this sort of routine, you know, process that happens, you know, almost every couple of months in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, this, you know, this is your ballot for your local area. This is your ballot for your regional. This is your ballot for your national candidate. And then UK leaders can be elected in January, and we're starting off every year nice and fresh, you know, ready to go. We've got a, you know, freshly elected leader. Even if it's the same leader from the last year, it's like, right, okay, brilliant. Here's the policies I want to push this year. Or let's get geared up. We've got the AGM. We want to get candidates on board. Let's go, you know. And that leader is then motivated to pull the train forward, you know.
Yeah.
Because they know that, right, okay, I've only got a year, January through December, and then I've got to run for election again. I better serve the members. and it's not, they don't have to run a fearful campaign, you know. It's because it's like, you know, it's like you can't just put yourself forward, I want to be UK leader, and have a vote like, you know, like the SLP. You've got to work your way up through. You've got to be first elected as the local leader. The local leaders can then pick from there to be regional leaders, the regional leaders to become national leaders to become UK leaders.
It also means as well that whenever we do appoint a new leader at a later stage, maybe not straight away, but at a later stage, we have a better caliber leader as well, because they've had the experience as a local, as a regional leader. So they've got that experience. They've done the job to a lesser degree, and now they're becoming the UK leader, which is probably one of the most important roles within the party. They've got that experience, they've got that exposure, and it's a higher caliber candidate as a result.
Your front house, if you're UK leader,
Yeah.
you're the face of the organisation.
Exactly.
Every word you say means something, even if from an administrative or a committee point of view, it means diddly squat because the leader has zero power within the organisation of the party.
Yeah.
Their words speak, so, and the thing is, right, they might be elected UK leader in the January, but if it comes round to July and they lose their position as local leader, then yes, you can see out their term as UK leader, but they won't be renominated. They would lose their position. So they would have to win the local, the regional, national election every single year to remain as UK leader.
Hmm.
So they're not fighting one election every year, they're fighting 4. Because they need to serve their local members, they need to serve the regional, they need to serve the national members. And then as UK leader, they need to serve all the members constantly.
Yeah.
So, they might show an element of bias to the local group at a certain level and get re-elected there every year. They'll reach out to the regional and say, look, I'm here for you. What do you need? Here's policies, etc., that I'm proposing, this, that, and the next thing, they've got all that. They can't vote on their own policies. They can propose and have the discussion and everything else, but the policies have to be supported by all the other leaders to carry through. And it's like the 4 national leaders might agree on a UK-wide policy or manifesto or something like that for an election. But a regional leader might disagree and want to run a regional manifesto separately.
Yeah.
Or a local leader might disagree and say, I don't like that, it's not very good for this area. I'd like to create one a little bit more localized, and then maybe just make a couple of edits and stuff like that. But they'll maybe suggest a couple of changes or highlight a policy instead of another one, that aims at the local level, and then it's sent. When these manifestos go to print and get sent out to the members, those local members will get their local variant, but the national message will still stand.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
good structure.
I mean, it does. It's not without its flaws. It's not without its weaknesses. But overall, I think
it eliminates the dross.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what rose to the top in the SLP dross. There was no cream. There was just dross.
Exactly. You might have somebody who can get their face on TV, but at the end of the day, they weren't able to organise the structure, the actual party itself, and that's where it doesn't matter who's leader. It's not a dig personally at Tam. It doesn't matter who the leader is. They are not going to be skilled enough in absolutely everything.
Yeah,
and that's why you end up with all these shenanigans that happen in all the mainstream parties.
Yeah,
all organised the exact same way. The leader comes in and appoints someone to, they'll put their own slant on the committee and sway them to do stuff because that, right, okay, I'll make sure your name's on the ballot paper and you get elected as an MSP or something, but vote on the committee, go on the committee and vote this way for me, sort of thing. Too much, internal corruption within these organizations.
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
Up, the person who is the most corrupt is the person who gets to the top. It's like you're shaking the ball of sand and the stones rise to the top simply because they don't conform. And it's not always in a good way. They might excel in one thing or another, but they won't excel in everything.
Mm.
And it's never going to happen that way. But anyway, 9:20.
We shall resume this maybe this weekend with regards to the leader. And then,
I will organise a leader election on Sunday. Right?
yeah, and then on Thursday we will well, on Sunday we'll arrange the activities for next week, to get the email address sorted, to get a bank account, get the limited company up and running as well. But all of that will happen next week. So I'm free all of next week, apart from maybe a couple of days where I've got a couple of things on, but that's about it.
I've got quite a lot in the coming week.
That's fine.
And possibly the week after, but
Even if we just keep it to weekends or evenings, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Early evening, even just stick to the Thursday, but we'll have the leadership election this Sunday.
Aye, that's fine. Cool.
Okay. Can you do me a favour? Will you post about it for me, so that I can just go to my bed?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Let everyone know, to put their names forward if they want to be the leader or a leader, and just there'll be an election Sunday, just internally between us,
Cool, no problem at all, mate.
Right, awesome. I'm away to my bed.
Good night.
Good night.
See you, mate.
See you later.